So last night I was reading my Bible and I asked, all right, Lord, what do you want me to teach tomorrow? What do you want me to help the people understand in your word today? And I was led to the book of Ecclesiastes and King Solomon's words, who was one of the greatest kings, the son of King David, through a terrible sin that David did, yet much wisdom was given, but also much pain also came through all of this. But the point is that this is a true statement for anybody that is continuously seeking and digging into God's word. So today we're going to see Ecclesiastes 1:18. And it says, "For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increase sorrow." Now what does that mean? Well, let's just break down some key words in the verse here. Wisdom, the word wisdom is chokmah, which is a skill, wisdom, your wit or your good sense. Second word is grief, word kahak, which means to be angered or vexed or troubled. Third word is knowledge, which is dath. That's interesting. Knowledge is connected to the word dath, which means knowledge or cunning or ignorantly. And the fourth word is sorrow, which is makob, which means pain, anguish, and affliction. Who gives wisdom in this world and in this life? Well, Proverbs 2:6, the book from Solomon. The Lord gives all wisdom. The Lord is the one that provides wisdom and understanding and truth. Who gives grief? Well, in 2 Corinthians 2:11, we see that Satan can provide grief to the believers and to people following the Lord. And he brought grief onto mankind through sin. And how does he do that? Through his various devices: money, power, control, and knowledge. Money, the root of all evil, which leads to men wanting power, which leads to men gaining control, which leads to knowledge and how to rule. So who gives knowledge? Well, God and Satan. They both give knowledge. Now, which one's true? That's for us to decide. Because in Proverbs 1:7, Solomon tells us, "Fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge." But who lied about the knowledge to fear the Lord first to gain knowledge? Satan did. Genesis 3:5, he said that, "Oh, you surely won't die, but ye shall be like God." So instead of fearing God, Satan taught the knowledge that we can be like God. You see, Genesis 3:5, we shall know good and evil. What does knowing good and evil do? For in much wisdom and much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increase sorrow. So with knowledge comes death. Okay, so it's kind of an interesting duality here of to gain understanding and wisdom comes with the two negatives. Two positives, wisdom and knowledge, come with two negatives, grief and sorrow. Knowledge and wisdom is given by God, but fake knowledge and grief and sorrow are given by Satan. Who brought sorrow into the world and who bought sorrow and death? We know this answer. Who brought sorrow? Satan. He lied to mankind. He told us that we shall be like God and that we would never experience death. Yet that brought grief and sorrow into the world because death is the wage of sin. But then who came and paid and bought our sorrow and death and took the keys to hell? Jesus Christ. So you see, in this simple verse, "For in much wisdom is grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increase sorrow," we can understand the war. The war between good and evil. Understanding this good and evil war will bring you much grief and sorrow. But when you trust in to who bought our sorrow and brings us joy and love and happiness and peace, that is when you begin to fear the Lord, and that is when you have the beginning of knowledge. I love you all. Talk to you soon. God bless.